Maraming salamat. Kumusta kayo mga kababayan, kaibigan at kapatid ko po sa kung nasan man kayo, kung saan man tayo po. Dito sa Malaysia, particularly dito po sa Sabah, kumusta kayo? Apamacham, how are you? Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Salamat pagi, salamat patang, and salamat malam po, no? Lahat tayo po, no? Who are sabihin natin watching itong Nick Talk, The Real Talk with Nico ngayong araw na Sabado po, January 24. Welcome na welcome kayo po and timing na timing po, Sabado ngayon and nandito kayo sa programa ko po, Nick Talk, The Real Talk with Nico and you will be able to catch up ang mga latest updates tungkol ano nangyari sa Pilipinas, especially ang political situation natin dyan po sa Pilipinas. So once again, I would like to say welcome na welcome. Kumusta kayo po? Hope everything is running smoothly, particularly ang mga Filipinos dito sa Malaysia, sa West Malaysia, sa Sabah, no? And of course, ang wag natin kalimutan, greet din natin ang mga overseas Filipino workers kung nasaan man kayo po, no? Sa iba-ibang parte ng mundo, sa ibang bansa po. And yes, of course, I don't have any intention to not to greet ang mga kababayan, kapatid at kaibigan ko po dyan sa Pilipinas. Sabado, January 24 and malapit na ang sweldo po and today is another weekend. Saturday and Sunday po. Sana lang po, we will enjoy ang weekend natin. So, okay. Sa ngayon po, we are going to touch another issue po. Since last week ito po, since yesterday, na mainit itong storya po tungkol sa impeachment. Impeachment ni President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. Narinig na natin po, no? Ang flood control project sa Blue Ribbon Committee issue. Maraming hindi satisfied what transpired sa Blue Ribbon Committee this week. And mas lalo na ngayon, I notice, ang dami mga Filipinos, particularly dito po sa Sabah, sa Kota Kinabalu where I am based, no? Narinig namin o narinig ko po na karamihan ng mga Filipinos dito po, they're not happy with what is happening dyan po sa Pilipinas when it comes to the impeachment of ang tatlong impeachment complaints against PBBM or President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. First impeachment was submitted sa House of Representatives last Monday and then Thursday yata yun po. They tried to push ang second and third impeachment but unfortunately, something went wrong. Wala ang House Secretary General si Garafil and ang opisina ng Secretary General ng House of Representatives po refused to accept ang impeachment complaint, ang mga dokumento filed by Makabayan Bloc and of course ang supporters ng Duterte po. Yon sila Mike Defensor, Anthony Topacio, and yun, ang second impeachment sila Renato Reyes po. So, dahil dyan po, medyo mas lalo na giging mainit ang balita tungkol sa impeachment of PBBM. Let's not talk first ang impeachment about kay of planned impeachment. And 100% there will be an impeachment against, another impeachment na complaint against Vice President Inday Sara Duterte. In fact, yon mga complainants, they're just waiting for the right time. And the right time will come only on February 6, once the expiry date of the one-year policy ban sa impeachment will expire. And then, pwede na po, for another year, pwede na naman po to file another impeachment case against Inday Sara Duterte. But in the meantime, let's talk about itong impeachment kay PBBM. Okay, the first impeachment, these are what I learned, dyan po sa legit national media natin, as well as social media po, mayroon mga claims, allegations, reportedly saying that the first impeachment case, which was filed by sino ba yun? Si Andre De Jesus ba yun? Last Monday, na some people are saying that it's a scam, A scam. Dahil po, they claim that itong impeachment complaint against PBBM hindi matibay po. It's not strong. And in fact, the intention, accordingly po, it's not coming from from me. Accordingly, this first impeachment filed dyan po sa House of Representatives just to parang ano ba ito po? They will file it knowing the fact na hindi malakas ang complaints, ang mga ebidensya, because it was only based on media reports, which is hindi talaga sabihin natin na malakas po or strong ang ebidensya po, no? Because you are just basing it sa mga media reports. Now, some people, they are claiming that this is a scam because they just want to file ang first impeachment against Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. so that it will trigger immediately by Monday, it will trigger na once na accept na ito po. In fact, ang impeachment complaint already transmitted to the Speaker of the House. And on Monday, once it will be transmitted to the House of Justice, dyan po sa House of Representatives, then it will trigger na po ang 1-year policy ban. In other words, kung mayroon pa mga ibang impeachment complaint po, hindi na pwede po. Hindi na pwede. Because nandoon na po, sa loob na po ang, sabihin, nag-trigger na po, nag-start na po ang 1-year policy ban sa impeachment of impeachable officials po dyan sa Pilipinas. So, because they say 100% it is not strong ang complaint, ang impeachment complaint against BBM, so definitely through technicalities po, it will not pursue. It will be dropped. Once that complaint will be dropped, then wala na po. Nobody can make any other impeachment complaints against BBM. So, ang dalawang impeachment, they tried to push it the other day. Unfortunately, dahil absent ang outstation out of the country ang Secretary General si Garfield, na the office of the Secretary General refuses to accept ang impeachment complaint made by the two groups po. Ang grupo ni Ginoong Renato Reyes and of course ang grupo ni Tony Topacio, sila Mike Defensor po, and mga supporters ng Duterte. So dahil dyan po, magulo po ang issue. But never mind, let us see what will happen po sa Monday. Because on Monday, mag-resume na po ang House of Representatives session po. And from there, we will know what will happen to the first impeachment complaint and what will be the decision of the Speaker of the House tungkol sa second and third impeachment complaint against BBM or President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. So ngayon, ito po ang issue sa Pilipinas po. And it concern hindi lang ang mga kapatid, kababayan, kaibigan natin dyan sa Pilipinas, it also concern ang mga Filipinos outside the country, kagaya namin dito po sa Malaysia, particularly dito po sa Sabah, and very specific dito po sa Kota Kinabalu. Now, hindi lang kami po, but other overseas Filipino workers po. We are all monitoring ang proceedings, ang mga happenings dyan po sa Pilipinas po because we are also concerned. Dahil apektado na talaga kami po when it comes to the flood control projects po. In fact, karamihan namin dito po, karamihan namin, that includes me. I am not satisfied, happy with what is happening dyan po sa investigasyon ng Blue Ribbon Committee tungkol sa flood control projects po. Likewise, wala tayong makuha dyan po sa Independent Commission for Infrastructure po, Isang member na lang dyan ang dalawang commissioner po, they resign. And also, don't forget, earlier, nag-resign din ang member ng ICI, si Baguio City Mayor, Magalong. No? So, wala tayong makuha dyan sa ICI. Wala tayong makuha dyan po. We saw it already. And magulo din ang Blue Ribbon Committee ngayon po sa Senado po. No? In fact, sila mismo po, mga members, ang partido, ang grupo ng majority bloc, sila chaired by Ping Lacson, Senator Ping Lacson. No? Magulo sila ngayon po. And parang away-away sila po, no? Ang grupo ng minority, yon sila Senator Rodante Marcoleta, no? In fact, kasi ang minority group, they submitted or they forwarded ang initial minority report nila tungkol sa flood control projects, and parang ang chairman ng Blue Ribbon Committee is not happy with what they did. Ang minority bloc, he even described, si Senator Ping Lacson even described it po parang insulto daw yan po sa Blue Ribbon Committee, no? Spearheaded by Ping Lacson. So yan po ang latest developments natin. But anyway, before going any further, no? Before any going further po tungkol sa impeachment kay PBBM, ito muna po, let us make very clear muna po, no? Let us make very clear muna tungkol ang balita the other day na absent si PBBM, one of the functions po dyan sa Manila, dahil he felt discomfort, no? May sakit po. But anyway, based on the reports, latest reports po, si PBBM is back to work, and okay na siya po ang kondisyon niya except for that very particular day. Ano na ba ang ano daw ang sabihin natin sakit, ha? Sakit ni President Bongbong Marcos during that time, bakit nag-absent siya po? They call it ano yun, ha? Diverticulitis, no? Ano ba ito po? Anong klaseng sakit ito po? No? Now, nandito, let me share with you po ang explanation ng one of the medical experts po tungkol itong sakit of President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos. And it is not, sabihin natin, serious, no? It's not serious. And nothing to worry much about the health of the President dahil po, ang Presidente is back, ha? Sa normal life na po. He's doing his job as a President. So, let's watch and listen po sa explanation o sa report na ito po tungkol sa sakit ni President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. Nandito po. Let's watch and listen.
Ano na ka ba, kapatid? Isa ka ba sa mga na-curious sa sakit na tumama kay Pangulong Bongbong Marcos kaya po siya na ospital? Pag-usapan po natin ang diverticulitis. Isa po yung kondisyon sa bituka. May nabubuo kasing maliliit na parang bulsa sa loob ng colon na tinatawag na diverticula. Kapag ang mga bulsa na ito ay namaga o na-impeksyon, doon po nagsisimula ang diverticulitis. Pero ito po ha, hindi lahat ng may diverticula ay may diverticulitis. Kapag may bulsa pero walang impeksyon, ang tawag po doon ay diverticulosis. Ano, nakakasabay pa ba kayo mga kapatid? I-recap po natin. Diverticula o yung bulsa sa colon. Diverticulitis ay yung na-impeksyong bulsa. At ang diverticulosis naman ay yung bulsang walang impeksyon. O balik po tayo. Mas common ang diverticulitis sa mga nasa edad 40 pataas. Pero ngayon, pati po mas bata, naaapektuhan na rin yan. Bakit? Malaki ang kinalaman ng lifestyle. Kulang po sa fiber, kulang sa tubig, sobra sa processed food, at kulang sa exercise. Kapag may diverticulitis, pwede pong makaranas ng pananakit ng tiyan. Kadalasan sa bandang kaliwa. Pwede rin may lagnat, bloated ang pakiramdam, nasusuka at may pagbabago sa pagdumi. Alam niyo po ba, dati pinaniniwala ang bawal ang mani, popcorn, na ebidensya na ang mga yan ang direktang sanhi. Mas mahalaga pa rin ang overall diet at healthy lifestyle. At kung usapang prevention, simple pero powerful ang mga hakbang. Dagdagan po ang pagkain ng gulay at prutas. Piliin ang whole grains. Uminom ng sapat na tubig at galaw-galaw naman dyan. Kahit simpleng paglalakad araw-araw, abay malaking tulong na po yan. Ito pang mahalaga, kapag usapang kalusugan, huwag pong manghula o mag-assume. Dapat legit ang impormasyon dahil ang kalusugan, gaya po ng king naman, ay yamanan.
Alright, yun pa ang sakit ni President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos, diverticulitis, no? So, normal lang yan po. Ang tao, above 40 years old, no? Especially mga senior citizens po, no? Normal lang yan po if we are not careful ang mga intakes natin, no? Mga intakes natin, then we might have this kind of a problem po, no? Especially if we don't take much of fibers, mga gulay po, prutas, walang exercise po, no? So, we might encounter this kind of problems po, no? But it's not a life-threatening sakit, and based on the reports reported dyan po sa Pilipinas, sa national media, and coming from the spokesperson ng Malacanang, si PBBM is back to normal ang routine niya po, no? Ang routine niya po, and he's doing his job again po, no? So nothing to worry. Ang worry natin po yon impeachment, no? Hindi ang sakit ni hindi ang sakit ni PBBM. But anyway, to make it very clear, kasi kailangan na kailangan po, whether we like it or not po, it's under the Constitution, that ang mga tao po, no? Ang mga tao, mga Filipinos po, should be informed, no? Should be informed under the Constitution ito po. Ang mga Filipinos, no? Should be informed anong ang health condition ng presidente po. Ha? So that we can see kung fit ba siya o hindi to lead the country. Kung hindi siya fit to lead the country, then something must be done. Kagaya, that's where the issue came wherein mayroon yan mga no less than ang elder sister ng presidente, si Senator Amy Marcos, when she mentioned during a rally a few months ago that Bongbong Marcos is taking illegal substance, no? Drugs po, no? Yun, it became a very big issue, and until now po, no? A lot of people still wondering whether totoo ba ito. And that was the time, again and again, the people were calling for President Bongbong Marcos to go for hair follicle tests. But until now po, ang presidente refused to do that po, no? Refused to do that, and he never mentioned whether positive ba he is taking illegal drugs or not. Nandun pa yon ang question mark. So yun po, no? Very important to know the health condition of our president. And that is the reason why pagdating sa health condition po, importante ang gobyerno, ang administrasyon, whoever leading the administration po, should inform the public what is the health condition of our president. Alright? So, okay. Punta na tayo po sa main topic natin. And this time, ang topic natin po, as what I said earlier, tungkol sa impeachment. The 3 impeachment complaints against PBBM. First, I'm going to share with you po, no? Mayroon ako dito maraming mga video clips. So at least you will be able to see and hear ano talaga po, no? Ano talaga what is happening dyan po sa impeachment complaint against President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos. Unang-una po, no? Para klaro mas disente, let me share with you po ano nangyari po ang grupo ni Defensor, former congressman Defensor, when they went the other day dyan po sa House of Representatives, particularly in the office of the Secretary General, si Madam Garfield. Unfortunately, wala siya sa opisina, nasa abroad siya, attending or will be receiving an award dyan po sa Taiwan ba yun? No? So, let me share with you first ang video clip, yung nagpasok sila, ang grupo ni Mike Defensor, no? Ang grupo ni Mike Defensor po. And nandito po, sandali, nandito. Let's watch and listen to this po.
Tatlong former congressman. Tatlong endorser. Thank you. Asan po? Sa mga endorser. Isang maleta ng complaint. Pwedeng ipakita, sir? Pwede makita? Kasama yung ebidensya. Kasama yung ebidensya. And ang complaint. Yung complaint, complaint.
Sir, sino po yung endorser?
Sinong endorser? Endorser secret.
Secret pa?
Secret.
Pero meron.
Meron kami endorser.
Ano, a clue?
Ha?
Clue ng endorser.
Mga bata sila. Mamaya na lang.
Tatlong congressman. Okay.
We have former congressmen as complainants also here. Tatlong former congressmen. Tatlong endorser. So po,
Kasama po kayo sa complainant?
siyempre.
Ano po yung pinakamain na natin sa
Ay, opo, gusto mo kayo. Ay, General. Ay, pakita po si General.
Hi, sir. General Esperon.
Pakikitaan lang po. Wala slogan? Wala ba slogan? Slogan. Sabi niya, People's Impeachment. Ayan, yan, sige, go. We are here for the People's Impeachment. This is a People's Impeachment complaint against incumbent President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. for culpable violation of the Constitution, betrayal of public trust, graft and corruption, and other high crimes.
Hindi ko maintindihan nangyari sa loob. Basta ako, bagong dating lang, galing ako sa Ilocos Norte, sa probinsya ni President Marcos. Walang matinong na project, puro ghost project, at puro, siya nasabi, maya kayo, puro palpak at guni-guni. Tama siya, sa Ilocos Norte. Wala akong makita, kagaling ko lang doon. Puro palpak at ghost project. Nasa Ilocos Norte, wala, probinsya niya. Distrito ni Sandro, saka si Barba. Wala kayong makita. Kagaling ko lang doon.
Okay, yun po ang third impeachment case, complaint, submitted dyan po sa office ng Secretary General si Garfield, no? The other day. And nakita natin ang kung sino-sino po, nakita natin ang former congressman si Mike Defensor, nandoon, si Attorney Jing Paras, si Attorney Manny Luna, no? Si Kathy Binag, and nakita din natin ang sabihin natin ang presensya ng mga iba-iba pang mga supporters ng Duterte po, no? And mamaya, I'm going to share with you po ang mga grounds ng third impeachment po. And ano po, may mga interviews pa po regarding itong third impeachment, which it was not accepted. It was not accepted by the office of the Secretary General for reasons that wala daw ang Secretary General si Garfield. And under the Constitution, it is very clear na ministerial lang itong office of the Secretary General. Any complaint submitted to them, they should receive it po, no? But we don't know what happened po. And I think malalaman din natin yan po only sa Monday. So let's see, no? Let's see and let's continue itong mga ano natin, ang video clips that I want to share with you po ngayon sa programa natin Nick Talk, The Real Talk with Nico. So, ang next video clip that I'm going to share with you po ay ito po. si Mike, former Congressman Mike Defensor. Former Congressman Mike Defensor. So, okay, sandali po. Let's watch and listen to former Congressman Mike Defensor. Sana yun. For Mike Defensor is 246. Let's watch and listen to this.
Nagkaroon kami ng pag-uusap ng mga kasama sa Makabayan Block na banggit na sa amin na opisyal na hindi tinanggap yung kanilang impeachment complaint. Kaya kami may prepared statement na kami tungkol dito sa ginawa dahil na-anticipate na namin na talaga magkakaproblema sa mismong pag-file namin. At katulad nga na nangyari, at na-anticipate namin, ganun nga. So if I will be allowed to read the statement, to be clear, distribute na lang siguro. The refusal of the Office of the Secretary General of the House of Representatives to accept the impeachment complaint is a clear violation of both the rules of the House and the 1987 Philippine Constitution. Under the Constitution, the House of Representatives has the sole power to initiate impeachment proceedings. The rules of the House explicitly provide a ministerial duty for the Office of the Secretary General to receive and record impeachment complaints that are duly filed. There is no discretion given to the Secretary General to reject, screen, delay, or block such filings. By refusing to accept the complaint, the office effectively usurps the constitutional authority of the House itself and denies the Filipino people their only lawful mechanism to raise grievances against a sitting president. If I may repeat that, by refusing, it denies the Filipino people their only lawful mechanism to raise grievances against a sitting president. Impeachment is not a political favor. It is a constitutional right. It is the only formal process through which citizens, through their representatives, can seek accountability from the highest official of the land. To block this process is not merely procedural error. It is a constitutional violation, an obstruction of a lawful remedy, and a direct assault on the people's right to petition government for redress of grievances. The House of Representatives exists to serve the people, not to shield those in power from scrutiny. The rules are clear. The Constitution is clear. The duty is clear. And no office has the authority to silence the people's voice. Maraming salamat po at magandang hapon sa inyo lahat. If I may distribute this.
Alright, yan po, narinig natin na si former Congressman Mike Defensor explaining po, no, na bakit dapat talaga ang Office of the Secretary General dyan po sa House of Representatives, they should receive ang impeachment complaint that they submitted the other day po, no? Let us not forget po, let us always remember po, no? Ang presidente natin, incumbent president po, are immune from any criminal civil cases po habang nandoon siya sa posisyon, no? So walang other avenues po. Kung may mga complaints tayo sa kanya po, we cannot file any complaint cases against him habang nasa posisyon pa siya po, no? But there is only one way that we can do that, and that is impeachment complaint. Impeachment complaint po, no? We can only remove the president or voice out our complaints or mga whatever we are not happy po through impeachment complaint po, and not through bringing the matter to the court kasi immune ang presidente. So what is happening now there po na under the Constitution po, ang Secretary General po, when it comes to the procedures, no? Proseso para sa impeachment complaint po, unang-una po, you have to make the official complaint dyan po sa Office of the Secretary General. And the office of the Secretary General, it is a ministerial job nila po to accept. But the question is, bakit they did not accept ang second and third impeachment complaints submitted to them the other day by the two groups, no? By the two groups. Ang grupo ni Makabayan Bloc, headed by Renato, if I'm not mistaken, Reyes, and itong grupo nila, Mike Defensor, former Congressman Mike Defensor, Attorney Topacio, no? Sila Jing Paras, sila Tony Luna, and others, no? And others po. So, yon ang issue ngayon po. And malalaman lang natin yun po sa Monday. Sa Monday po. Bakit and anong decision. But according to them, ang third complainants po, no? Mayroon pa sila isang option po, no? They will bring this matter to the Supreme Court po. No? Bring this matter to sa Supreme Court po if there is a need. If there is a need po. Alright. Now, let me show you another a video clip also from a statement coming from former Congressman Mike Defensor. Mike Defensor po. Marami tayong dito mga video clips and I hope pasensya lang po, no? I have to share this with you po para at least you will have a clear picture of what is happening po, no? Okay. Now, the next video clip that I'm going to share with you po is about Mike Defensor. Ang statement niya po tungkol kay Saldico, tungkol sa impeachment complaint pa rin po, no? Ano kaya ito? Ano kaya ang statement ni former Congressman Mike Defensor? Nandito po. Let's watch and listen to this.
May pasabog daw na testigo ang grupo naghain ng ikatlong impeachment complaint laban kay Pangulong Bongbong Marcos.
Saldico is willing to testify on our behalf kung sa graft and corruption issue at sa lahat na nalaman niyang bigay ng pera maging yung pag-aayos ng budget hindi ang program allocation.
Hindi tinanggap kahapon ng Office of the Secretary General ang ikatlong impeachment complaint, pati ang ikalawang reklamo na inihain ng grupong bayan at mga kaalyado nito dahil nasa abroad si House Secretary General Cheloy Garafil para tumanggap ng award. Nang malaman daw ito ni Ko, lalo raw sumidhi ang kagustuhan nitong tumestigo. Si Ko nagsabing si Pangulong Marcos umano ang nag-utos ng budget insertions na nagkakahalaga ng 100 billion pesos sa 2025 budget. Pero tumanggi ang grupong idetalye kung paano sila nagkaroon ng komunikasyon kay Ko.
Nung malaman ni Saldico na mag-file ng impeachment complaint at lalo malaman niya na bigla, he is willing to testify to enhance the impeachment complaint we have filed. Ang sabi niya, nung nasa Senate, ay gusto na niya sa Blue Ribbon Committee, hindi siya pinayagan. Inaasahan namin na dito sa impeachment complaint na ipapayagan siya mag-testify.
Masusi na rin daw nilang pinag-aaralan ang pagsasampa ng reklamo laban kay Garafil.
Nagkakaisa kami, and this is a warning to the Office of the Secretary General that we will file against a case against the office.
May constitutional violation si Secretary General Garafil. Kaya whether we left a copy or did not, we already tendered the submission of our complaint. Now the ball is in the hands of Garafil, and we will file charges against her.
Sa ngayon, iisang impeachment complaint pa lang laban sa Pangulo ang opisyal na natanggap ng Office of the Secretary General at nai-transmit na sa Office of the Speaker. Ito ang unang reklamong inihain ni Attorney Andre De Jesus.
The De Jesus impeachment complaint is a scam. It does not only involve the Secretary General's office, it involves the leadership of the House and the President himself.
Sinisikap namin makuna ng pahayag ang House Secretary General at si House Speaker Faustino D. III. Nasabi naman ni De Jesus noon na hindi niya inihain ang reklamo para protektahan ang Pangulo at meron daw siyang mga ebidensya. Sagot naman ni Palace Press Officer Undersecretary Claire Castro, kailangang patunayan ni Defensor ang kanyang alegasyon laban kay De Jesus na umaming minsan ang nag-abogado para sa PDP laban Duterte faction. Tinawag naman ni House Senior Deputy Minority Leader at Caloocan 2nd District Representative Edgar Erice na constitutional sabotage ang paggamit anya ng mga teknikalidad sa impeachment process. Ginagamit daw ang isang mahinang reklamo para mapigilan ang paghahain ng iba pang reklamong malakas at mas pinaghandaan. Naniniwala naman ang isang taga-House Committee on Justice na dapat ay tanggapin ng Kamara ang lahat ng ihahaing impeachment complaint.
I think we should accept any and all impeachment complaints para at least hindi masabi ng kaumbayan na sa filing pa lang pinaprotektahan na yung presidente.
Ngayong hawak na ng Office of the Speaker ang unang impeachment complaint, pagbalik ng sesyon sa Lunes, merong 10 session days ang Speaker para maisama ito sa order of business. Pagkatapos, may 3 session days para ma-refer ang reklamo sa House Committee on Justice. Nakahanda naman daw ang House Committee on Justice kahit pa magkasabay nilang hawakan ang impeachment proceedings laban sa Pangulo at kung sakasakali laban kay Vice President Sara Duterte.
I have a lot of faith and confidence to the 38 members of the Justice Committee. For as long as we will be adopting the necessary strategies, I believe that we can confidently discharge our function in addressing 2 impeachment complaints, no? One against the President, although I do not want to speculate, but you mentioned it, one against the Vice President. Kaya naman, magagaling yung mga members ng Justice Committee.
Para sa GMA Integrated News, Tina Panganiban Perez, Nakatutok, 24 Oras.
Alright, yun po, narinig natin po, no? Klarong-klaro po. And that is exactly what is happening now po. Nagulo, magulo na po, na dyan sa tungkol sa impeachment complaints against President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. po. And again, I would say, hintayin na lang natin po hanggang sa Monday para malalaman natin so that we will know ano talaga. Is it accepted ang second and third impeachment complaints the other day submitted by two groups po? Although the office of the House Secretary General did not officially receive the documents, but they left behind, ito mga complainants, they left behind ang dokumento dyan sa opisina po. No? By right under the Constitution, as claimed by the complainants, no, ministerial lang po ang trabaho ng Office of the Secretary General. And they also officially mentioned that they are going to file cases against these people sa Office of the Secretary General who refused to accept ang documents, ang impeachment complaint documents they submitted dyan po sa Office of the Secretary General. So, let's see and we will know on Monday. But anyway, okay, let's talk about the grounds of the impeachment, third impeachment complaint against BBM. No? Nandito po ang video clip kay during a press conference yesterday po, si Attorney Manny Luna po, no? Remember, I don't know if you should remember who is Attorney Manny Luna. Manny Luna, together with his group mo, they are the ones who filed an impeachment complaint against Bautista. And they were successful po. They were successful, no? That was history. And during the time of Bautista, accordingly po, no? The impeachment complaint submitted to the Office of the Secretary General was not received by the Secretary General himself, but it was officially received by the deputy po. Kaya nga, the question now is, bakit even the deputy the other day of Garafil refused to accept ang impeachment complaint? That is something that we have to watch, monitor, and know the answer po. So, In the meantime, nandito po ang statement during the press conference of Attorney Luna po, no? Tungkol sa third impeachment. Attorney Luna, it's 333. Okay, sana yun na. 333. Attorney Luna, 333. Sana yun. Hold on, ha? Nandito po si Attorney Manny Luna explaining ang grounds ng third impeachment against President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos.
Into the impeachment complaint. First and foremost, gusto nating sabihin na ang aming complaint is a people's complaint for impeachment against President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. Ito po ay complaint ng Pilipino na naghihikahos. Pilipino na dinaya at pinagkait ng magandang kinabukasan. Pilipino na ninakawan ng pera. So the first ground namin is itong fiscal irresponsibility of the President. I would like to state the first ground. The respondent, Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr., culpably violated Article 7, Section 22 of the Constitution in recommending and program appropriations and not vetoing increase and program appropriations in the General Appropriations Act of 2023. Anong ibig sabihin nito? Alam nyo yung program appropriations cast a big shadow on the budget since 2023, kasama yung 2024 and 2025. Dahil ito ay walang clear financing sources, sa palagay namin, unconstitutional ito. In fact, there's a pending petition in the Supreme Court that calls for the declaration of unconstitutionality ng ang program appropriations. Ang problema dito, noong 2023, 588 billion pesos of taxpayers' money ang hindi binito ng ating Pangulong Marcos Jr. At ito ay isa sa mga pondo na naging source ng kickbacks. In a recent exchanges sa Senate, kinumpirma no less than Senator Sherwin Gatchalian through his interpellation of Senator Chis Escudero, former SP ng Senate, na mula 2023 hanggang 2024 up to 2025, yan ang pinakamalaking anomalya sa flood control na nangyari. Can you imagine 588 billion hindi man lang binito ng ating Pangulo? This is unconstitutional. Bakit? Ang program appropriations ay walang source of financing. Sa Constitution, required po under Article 7, Section 22 na ma-identify yung sources of financing. Kaya itong ang program, mula sa simula, nagiging grab prone ito, naabuso eh. In fact, PCIJ has termed it as a source of misuse of funds. Even Rappler and other media organizations and business experts. Kaya ito ang unang ground namin against the President. He culpably violated the Constitution, Article 7, Section 22, for failing to veto the program appropriations and for recommending program appropriations in the 2023 National Expenditure Program. Thank you po.
Okay, yun po. Narinig natin na si Attorney Manny Luna explaining, sharing with us ang grounds of impeachment against President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. po. Ang first ground nila po is culpable violation of the Constitution, si President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos. Okay? Now, let me share with you another member of the complainant group po, no? Si Attorney Jing Paras. Attorney Jing Paras po, ito po, when asked to comment about the impeachment of President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos po sa third impeachment campaign nila po, nandito ang statement ni Attorney Jing Paras. Hold on ha, tingnan natin po. Attorney Jing Paras, nasaan na yun po? And, okay, ano ang cue natin dito kay Attorney Jing Paras? 144. Nandito po, let's watch and listen to this.
Alam mo kasi, the responsibility of the president is overwhelming. Maraming nagsasabi, the sector or even the people around him are saying si Presidente ang nagpapaimbestiga. But kami sa grupo namin, we don't believe na siya ang nagpapaimbestiga. Ang belief namin ay siya ang mastermind. Siya ang numero uno na kurakot sa bansa natin. But how do we make him accountable? He is immune from sukte. We cannot file a case against him in the ombudsman. The ICI is under sa kanya. Hindi pwedeng mag-imbestiga sa kanya. Sa Senate, there is a separation of power. So, ang tangi lamang na binibigay ng ating saligang batas na mananagot ang Pangulo is through an impeachment. Kaya po, pinag-isipan namin na ito na matagal. We have come to the ultimate decision na dapat mananagot si Marcos dahil siya ay maraming ginagawang kabulastugan sa ating bansa. This is through the impeachment. Pero nangihinakit kami dahil mukhang hindi kami pinagbigyan ng karapatan na magiging impeacher, which is enshrined in our Constitution. So that is why we are here today. Maraming po salamat.
Alright, ayun po. Klarong-klaro, narinig natin po si Attorney Jing Paras po. And this time around, mayroon na naman ako dito isang video clip po. And coming from Kathy Binag, no? And she's talking about the health condition of the president. And that is the reason why she joined itong impeachment complaint. So let's watch ang statement made by Kathy Binag. Kathy Binag po. Sandali po. Ang queue natin is 307. Saan na yung 307? Nandito, let's watch and listen to this.
Hapon na. So, naway busog naman kayo kahit papano, no? Basically, ang tagal-tagal na hong nananawagan din ng lahat ng mamamayan. Ever since 2024, lumabas po ako ng late 2020 or mid-2024. Ako'y nagsabi, may problema ho sa paggamit ng illegal substance ang ating presidente. Pero until now, kanila ho itong binabaliwala at hindi ho nila pinapansin. Ngayon ho, nakita ho natin sa lahat ng nangyari sa ating bansa, ang pagmamalaki niya sa flood control projects na 5,000. Sabi niya na nakita niya at ginagawa na nila. Then when he was signing the GAA, also, he was so proud that he read everything, 4,000 plus pages. Sinabi niya, pinasa niya, and sinabi niya, I didn't see anything wrong with that. But ngayon po, nakikita natin na may problema. Kitang-kita, lantaran, from PhilHealth sa lahat ho, and program funds, lahat na lang, di ba? Pati yung PTIC nga, yung ating ekonomiya ay magsasuffer with that. Kasi lahat ho tayo, pag tayo nag-aano sa bangko, yan po talaga yung ginagawa natin, no? So ngayon, with all that, makikita niyo po doon na may problema ho, na wala ho siya sa sarili. And I think talaga, I think talaga po, gumagamit siya ng pinagbabawal na droga kasi hindi rin naman ho siya nagpa-check up, no? So ako, nakita niyo naman, nung paglabas ko, sinabi ko yung problema na gumagamit siya ng droga. Nung rally po, nung nakaraan ng INC from November 16 to 18, nagsalita ho si Senator Amy Marcos at sinabi din niya ang problema Marcos, napakahirap nung ginawa niya. So saan tayo pupunta? Diba? Parang wala siyang alam. Sinabi ni, isipin mo ha, si Congressman Toby Tiangco, sinasabi niya, sabi daw ng presidente, kay Saldico at saka kay Martin Romualdez, ilang bahay pa sa Forbes, ilang caviar pa kakainin nyo, at ilang Ferrari pa ang gusto ninyo. Alam na alam niya yung nangyayari, pero wala siyang ginagawa. Until now, wala pa rin. Sabi nga ni Senator Rodante Marcoleta, puro sapsap ang kanyang pinapakulong.
Yan po ang sabihin natin, ang statement made by Cathy Binag po, no? Alam na natin kung sino si Cathy Binag. Yun po, she's part of the group noon po, no? Tungkol sa mga session nila sa illegal drugs, no? And, alright, tuloy natin. The other video clips that I'm going to share with you po is tungkol naman po kay Attorney Vic Rodriguez. Ano kaya mga statement ni Attorney Vic Rodriguez po? Also a known supporter of the Dutertes. Si Attorney Vic Rodriguez. And saan na yun? Ano ba yun? 49 ba yun? 49. Attorney Vic Rodriguez. Ang cue niya po is 49. Let's watch and listen to this.
The government. Mantakin ho ninyo, kontrolado na nila ang Department of Justice. Kontrolado nila ang Ombudsman. Magandang simula ng investigation ng Blue Ribbon. Ano hong ginawa? Tinanggal si Chairman Dante Marcoleta sa Blue Ribbon. Tinanggal din yung Senate President. Bakit? They want to control all agencies and departments of the government. Nang sa ganoon ay hindi lalong lumantad at pabulilyaso yung kanilang pagnanakaw. Kontrolado nila ang polis, kontrolado nila ang militar, kontrolado nila yung military and other uniform personnel. Saan patatakbo ang sambayan ng Pilipino? Mantakin ho.
Yun po, narinig natin ang statement made by Attorney Vic Rodriguez. Okay, this time around po, let's go sa mga political analysts dyan po sa Pilipinas. Mayroon tayo dito dalawang video clip. And I will share with you po ang mga komento, observations, statement made by two political, respectable political analysts natin po. One is, alam na ninyo po, si Professor Malu Tequia, no? Nandito po ang niya po, ang statement niya po, ang reaction niya po. Listen carefully sa kanya po. Kasi maganda din ang mga puntos ni Professor Malu, no? Very well respected media personality, a former congresswoman if I'm not mistaken po. And let's watch and listen to this. Saan ba yun? Ang 158. 158, ang cue niya po is 158. Hold on, let me find ang 158. Saan yun 158? Nandito po. Let's watch and listen to this carefully.
Tila pakawala ng administrasyon. Yan ang pananaw ni UP Professor at Political Strategist na si Malu Tequia sa unang impeachment complaint na isinampa ng abogadong si Andre De Jesus na inendorso naman ni Representative Jerny Jet Nisay laban kay Pangulong Ferdinand Marcos Jr. noong Lunes. Pero para kay Professor Malu, sinadyang ihain ang complaint para matrigger ang 1-year bar rule ng impeachment process kasabay ng kanyang puna na mahina ang mga batayan ng reklamo na napaloob sa nasabing impeachment complaint.
Pag tinignan mo yung complaint ni Attorney De Jesus, ang annexes nun, paper clippings, newspaper clippings. How can you file an impeachment based on newspaper articles? Diba?
Kahina-hinala rin para kay Tequia ang mga personalidad sa likod ng naturang reklamo mula sa abogadong nagsampa nito hanggang sa kongresistang nag-endorso. Kaduda-duda rin ang hindi pagtanggap kaagad ng House Secretary General sa dalawa pang complaints kahapon na inihain naman ng Grupong Bayan at ng grupo ni dating Ilocos Sur Governor Chavit Singson.
To, ang sense namin, hindi tinanggap yung dalawa. Ano ko ba naman, ministerial lang naman yung pagtanggap. Wala siyang desisyon na gagawin, stamp lang, receipt. The fact na hindi, at sinabing nung Deputy Sec Gen na I am not authorized to receive sa saligang batas na ruling na ang authorized representative ng SecGen ang dapat tumanggap. So yung hindi nila pagtanggap is an abuse of discretion.
Kaya ang tanong ngayon ni Tikia, sa tatlong impeachment complaint na nasa Kamara na, saan roon ang sumasalamin ng sentimiento ng taong bayan?
So alam natin kung saan patutungo ito. That is the 1-year protection of the president that they are trying to put together.
DJ
Yan po, narinig natin ang may puntos talaga si Professor Malu, no? And mahina daw, sabi niya mahina talaga yung first impeachment. And mayroon na mga haka-haka, mga istorya po, they're saying na ang first impeachment will push through po, and it will trigger the start of the, sabihin natin, one-year ban policy. Ibig sabihin, ang dalawang impeachment complaints will not be valid. And once push through na itong first impeachment po, no, definitely, dahil mahina po, based on the paper media reports lang po, na it will be dropped because of technicalities po. So once it will be dropped, so nobody else can file a impeachment complaint against Bongbong Marcos for the whole year po. They have to wait another year po. No? So yun po, that is the situation now po. Whether this is true or not po, let us wait and see sa Monday. No? Wait and see sa Monday. You cannot blame ang publiko for thinking this way po, dahil obviously po, no? The public are not or do not have that much trust and confidence to the administration of President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. for obvious reason. All right, another since I mentioned about the dalawang political analysts, now let me share you another video clip po coming from Attorney Domingo po. May interview sila po kay Attorney Domingo, ang media outlet natin dyan po sa Pilipinas. Let's watch and listen to this.
Attorney Domingo Cayosa po ang isang constitutional law expert at dating presidente po ng Integrated Bar of the Philippines. Sakto-sakto dahil constitutional itong issue natin eh. Yung pagtanggap po ng mga impeachment complaint, nasa ali ito ni Attorney Domingo Igon Cayosa. Attorney Igon, good morning po.
Morning, Alvin. Magandang umaga sa ating mga kababayan.
Ano po yung take po ninyo doon sa bumubula yung bibig ng mga nag-file kahapon dahil walang gustong tumanggap ng kanilang impeachment complaint laban sa presidente? Anong insights, anong take nyo po doon sa isyong yun?
Well, depende kung anong complainant, no? Kasi yung pangalawa ay meron naman silang verified complaint at meron naman isang congressman na nag-endorso nito.
Mm-hmm.
So it is ministerial upon the office of the Secretary General na tanggapin ito at i-refer kaagad sa Speaker. So yung rason na hindi nila pwedeng tanggapin kasi wala yung kanilang Secretary General na sa Taiwan daw, hindi ho yun sapat na rason. It is actually a violation of civil service rules at yung ethical standards for public officials, yung ginawa nila na hindi pagtanggap ng complaint. So pangalawa naman, based on what we've seen in media, ay mukhang yung mga complainants lang ang nandun. Wala naman tayong nakitang congressman na mag-endorso. So there's nothing to receive kung wala namang endorsement ng at least isang congressman.
So ibig mo sabihin, hindi pala magkakapareho ang kaso ng grupo ni na former Congressman Mike Defensor at yung grupo naman led by former Congressman Teddy Casino. Magkaiba sila, attorney?
Oo, kasi we haven't heard and we did not see. Ito based lang dun sa mga published reports, Alvin. Dun sa Makabayan Black kasi meron silang congressman na nag-endorso. Requirement yan sa Constitution. The verified complaint must have a resolution of endorsement from at least one congressman. Doon naman sa complaint ni na Attorney Popay,
na yun eh. May mga snippets ng video na lumabas sa social media, attorney. May tinanong si Congressman o si Paras ba yun? Narinig ko may nagsabi, hindi, meron kami, may sponsor kami 3 batang mambabatas. Nagsabi siya ng gano'n. So hindi pwedeng sabihin mo lang na meron, kailangan nandun.
No, hindi. Kailangan, pero yung pinirmahan ng congressman, yung endorsement resolution niya. Tama na. Yun, it's not enough that there's a verified complaint. Ang nakasaad sa konstitusyon at saka sa section 3 ng House Rules and Impeachment, yung verified complaint accompanied by an endorsement, resolution of endorsement from at least one. So kung may 3 congressman sila, dapat sinamahin nila dun sa kanilang complaint. Yun ang tatanggapin dapat ng sino mang opisyal sa Office of the Secretary General.
So in a sense, kaya bang sabihin na may defect? Kumaga defective din pala yung sinampa nito in the first place kasi walang nakalagay na endorser. Can you say that?
Well, of course, it remains to be seen. Yung sabi-sabi yun, kasi mahirap kung sabi sa isama nila, it has to be a written endorsement. So, malinaw yun, no? Na requirement. Yung sinasabi nila, well, we don't know. They haven't shown us yung buong contents. But magkakalabasan yan ng katotohanan pagdating ng Monday, diba? Yan naman ang munang session day.
So usap
Alright, yun po, no? Yun po. And they're touching, si Atty. Domingo was touching on the endorsement. And on the contrary, si Defensor, former Congressman Mike Defensor was saying earlier, no? Nakita natin sa video na mayroon silang 3 endorsers po, congressman po, 3 yun po. The law only requires 1. Pero si former Congressman Defensor mention na mayroon silang 3 endorsers po. Ha? So, malalaman natin yun po. Ha? Malalaman natin kung mayroon ba o wala ba. No? And I don't think so po. Ang grupo ni Mike Defensor, especially nandyan po si Atty. Luna, I don't think so po. They will just bring the documents without the required endorsers. No? Endorser or endorsers. So, but anyway, malalaman natin ito po sa Monday kung bakit talaga, no? Either it will be 3 impeachment complaint, magpasok talaga po dyan sa House of Representatives para to push through para sa Committee of Justice. And then after verification, evaluation po, kung may probable cause, then they will submit it to the Senate for scrutiny and evaluation again. And kung ano po, anong desisyon ng Senado po, then there will be a impeachment trial against President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos. So yun po ang sitwasyon. Finally, I want to share with you another video clip po tungkol si majority leader ng House of Representatives, ang anak ng presidente, si President Ferdinand Marcos. I'm referring to ang anak niya po, si Congressman Sandro Marcos po, tungkol sa impeachment. No? Tungkol sa impeachment. Let's watch and listen to ang statement ni Representative Sandro Marcos po sa interview sa national media sa Pilipinas.
Idiniin ni Presidential son at House Majority Leader Sandro Marcos na di niya haharangin ang anumang impeachment complaint laban sa kanyang amang si Pangulong Bongbong Marcos.
Congress is constitutionally bound to hear these cases for anyone, for any impeachable officer, whether that is the president or not. So, sa mga nagsasabi na makakaharangin niya yung impeachment or whatever, I cannot do that. And Malacanang has stated that he's confident na wala naman siyang ginawang mali. I share the same sentiment. I will not be stopping or blocking any impeachment.
Bilang House Majority Leader, ang nakababatang Marcos na may hawak ng House Committee on Rules ang kukumpas sa pag-usad ng reklamo sa House Committee on Justice.
Alright, yun po, narinig natin po si Representative Sandro Marcos. So yun po ang mga video clips that I want to present to you po. So at least kayo mga kababayan, kaibigan, kapatid ko po who is watching itong Nick Talk, the Real Talk with Nico, you will be able to have an idea kung what is happening. On my part po, once again, I would like to say and remind each and every one of us po, na this impeachment, be it impeachment against President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos, impeachment complaint against Vice President Inday Sara Duterte po, is not doing any good to us. It's not doing any good to our country. It's not giving a good name to all the Filipinos po, no? In the eyes of the international friends natin po, no? Grabe ang image ng Pilipino because of this impeachment po, no? But what to do? Dumating na tayo po sa sitwasyon po wherein mayroon na po nag-file ng impeachment complaint, no? Impeachment complaint po. But I am sure this impeachment complaint will prove na mayroon tayong problema sa political stability, sa security, political security stability, and economic stability. And I'm expecting, because of this, no, ang buhay ng mga Filipino po will further be suffered, affected po, affected. So, let's hope and pray po na things will change for the better. Filipinos are not for nothing, no? Are not for nothing. Let's pray to God and hope that everything will be settled for the good of everybody. Not only for our country, but all Filipinos po. Whether you're rich, poor, or what. Filipinos, dyan po sa Pilipinas, and mga Filipinos dyan po sa labas ng bansa natin. So with this, si Nico Fabian would like to say once again, thank you very much for making me a part of your day today. Enjoy kayo po ang weekend natin, and let's wait for Monday. Red letter day natin sa Monday po. I will make sure that I will follow up, monitor ang mga situation tungkol po sa issues na ito po. Sa Monday, ang recession, mag-resume na po ang session ng House of Representatives as well as dyan po sa Senado. So with this, again, si Nico would like to say, Malaysia, Sabah, the Philippines, God bless us all. I'll see you in my next episode. Take good care of you. Godspeed. Bye, and I love you all.